You can see on this one, you can see on these two guys, this tray in particular. Good morning. I know enough to be Dangerous Farm. My name is Rob, and last night we had to have, or yesterday afternoon, we had to have a emergency plug extraction from the plug house. I went to check on the plugs. The redneck knows the first thing I smelled was mold and mildew. And once you know the smell it, you will be always be keen to the smell. So I had to get the plugs out of there. Best thing with the plug house, it protects it from the elements, the temperature swings. But the bad thing is there's no ventilation in there. There's ventilation in the top for heat in the summer, but there's no ventilation inside, and that's I just didn't have time to put ventilation or a fan or anything. Since then I have a fan with the greenhouse we took down. I could put one of the fans in there, but I had to get those seedlings out in a hurry. They were not smelling good, and once I got them out into the better light, I could see some mold starting. So here's the plug house. I've shown this in previous videos, and here it is empty. It normally just smells like sawdust in here from the new build, but it did not smell like sawdust when I was even walking up as soon as I opened the door. So I moved them in here. These are the Norway spruce, and then you can see on this one, you can see on these two guys, this tray in particular does not look good. The rest of these Norways came through the winter really good. I'll give you the low down shot here. So overall, you know, it doesn't look like we've lost any, but it's too early to tell. Here's some of the fir, the Fraser fir. You know, they didn't look too bad. And then I saw this tray. You can start to see it a little bit. Trays that it had in the greenhouse, no heat, just to see if they made it. Looks like they all made it. And then on these Turkish fir, you can actually see it on their little trunk, and that will eat that little trunk right away. Some of them seem to be a little bit more resistant, like the Norways hardly have anything on it. And tell you the truth, these have been out in the air and they look better already, tell you the truth. So there's a little bit right there. So the first sign was the smell, and then the symptom, as you can see, the symptom. That's the difference between sign and symptom. Here's a nice little tray. These are about almost 3 inches tall. And with the new lights in the new to us greenhouse, we should get them 5 times this big. This is just 1 year's growth. As you can see, it germinated from seed, and then this is 1 year's growth, and then it set bud, and then it basically stops. Lights in the new to us greenhouse, we're going to trick these little seedlings into thinking it's not time to go dormant. We'll run the lights 24/7 for a few months. And that's what we're going to do. So right now we're going to spray some fungicide. I was going to do the biostimulant stuff, but I think it's urgent enough to break out the fungicide. I don't like spraying a lot of chemicals, but sometimes you have to. But this is one of those times. We're gonna spray some Manazeb, and I'm sure I'm not saying that right. I just know what it is and what it does. All right, enjoy. Thanks for stopping by.